Good afternoon, everybody. Not good morning, good afternoon, and welcome to a bonus stream. And hi, Pi. Hello. Glad you could be here. Yeah, I got some progress done this morning. I got a bunch of paint, or I got the bases for these models really nicely done. And because I want to do Finishing Friday tomorrow and do the last little details, I was going to hold off until tomorrow to do that last bit. But let me show you what I'm looking at here. Here are the Raptoryx, and this morning I spent a bunch of time changing the bases from just plain nothing, like plain plastic, and gave them some texture and gave them some, extra bits. And then I gave them a prime. I primed them in black. And now they're just black, and it's very dull and very boring. So, because I want to do Finishing Friday tomorrow, I want to fix that. I also discovered, as I was just looking at them just now, as I was going live, a horrifying disaster. It's actually not that bad. But, apparently while I was priming, I hit this guy on the back with my brush. So he's got this big black blep on his back. So that's gonna take a little bit of work to fix, especially since I put away my paints. So I may not be able to fix that until tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. But in the meantime, I definitely want to do some work on these bases. Just quickly, this is not going to be a lengthy stream. I'm hoping that within an hour or so. You think it looks kind of cool? Yeah, I mean, it's okay. But it's not at all what I intend for the model, so I'm gonna see if I can fix that probably tomorrow during Finishing Friday. Anyways, so let's look at what we've got in these bases and think about color scheme. Obviously, I've got the gritty sort of dirt that's all around the bottom that I glued on there this morning. We're going to do that dirt in flat earth. It's a lightish brown. This is what I used for the steps on some of the terrain I was working on last week. We want to use a lightish brown because we're going to put a wash on it after we've painted it. And we want something light that the wash will interact with. And then on this model, he's standing on, I don't know if you folks can see it there, but he's standing on a little piece of broken masonry. So I'm going to go in and make that look like the masonry that we've already painted. And then I added this spear with this banner, just because I wanted something cool on the model. So we're going to paint that today very quickly. Oh, and there's a skull right here. So let's start with the brown. That's the most time-consuming piece. That's the most area I'm going to have to cover. So let's get that on there as quickly as we can. Yeah, I mean, I guess I see what you're saying, that it's like a battle scar or something. It also just looks like I messed up. When I get to the Untamed Beasts, I actually do have, I'm going to do sort of tattoos and stuff like that on them. Not like super detailed, but I am going to give them a little bit of personality that way. So to start out with here, for the wide open areas on the base, we're going to use my Wargamer Regiment brush. This brush is actually in decent shape. This is the one that you can see it's not very well tipped anymore. It's beginning to spread a bit. But this is the one that I was using for the wash when I was using that acrylic-based wash and needed to soak the brush in turpentine. So the fact that this brush is in as good shape as it is pretty impressive. So yeah, we're just going to make all this textured stuff where I glued on the basing grit. We're going to make that all brown. Can be pretty quick about this, I think. And then tomorrow during Finishing Friday, I'll get in there and hit it with a wash, which will darken it. And do some highlights. Because there's no point in having texture if you don't do anything to make it look interesting. So it should take maybe 10 minutes or so to get all of this painted brown. And then we'll work on a couple of the other bits of terrain stuff on here. I honestly didn't think anybody would join me for this unannounced quick bonus stream, so it's nice to have you there, Pi. Thank you. I was doing this primarily because I was looking at these models and they just need something, you know? And I couldn't let them just be. If you were watching earlier, Amanda and I had a ton of housework to do, and we actually got it done faster than we thought we were going to, so that was nice. So she's gone to visit her mother. I hope Amanda's mother appreciates how cool it is that she has a personal librarian. Amanda was going to bring her mother some books and pick up some books that her mother had. Not everybody has a librarian who comes to their house to drop off books for them and pick up more. I don't have to be super precise here. Just don't want to get it on the model like I did with that other model. That was me being too fast this morning because I was in a hurry to help Amanda with all the housework. I mean, there can be happy little accidents, right? You can do things where you mess up and you decide to keep the model that way. Just in this particular circumstance with that blep on the model, it's something that I feel like I can correct relatively easily. So I'm going to bring it back a little bit. So you can see that I did a wash on the Raptoryx itself, and I feel like that wash really came out great. You can see a lot of cool detail on the model now. Always nice when something as simple as a wash makes that much of an improvement. And if this is this hard, the other two are going to be even harder because these Raptoryx, the pose that they're in, has them really low to the ground, which means I'm having to wedge myself in under them considerably to get the paint where I want it to go. Tricky angles, but I think I'm getting it done. I need more paint. I hate leaving a job half done. And that's how I was feeling about these when they had just a matte black base. So by the time we're done with this little bonus stream, the bases will be 2/3 done, because I still have to do highlighting and weathering and a wash tomorrow. But progress, right? I do like how that texture came out. It'll look a lot better with a wash. But if you saw these figures before I started this morning, I posted pictures of them when they were just plain ovals of plastic with nothing interesting at all. This is pretty satisfying to have this difference here. Let this dry for a mo, and we'll work on that plain brown on another one. I've definitely abused this brush considerably in the last week or so. Poor brush. There. That looks a little better. Better contrast. So let's put that aside for a moment. Grab another Raptoryx. Get a little more paint. Today is being a very busy day, considering that I'm on vacation. But there's so much I want to do. Like, I'm doing this base work. Amanda and I did a bunch of housework. I'm doing laundry right now. I've got laundry in machine. When I'm done with this stream, I'm gonna make dinner. And then our landlords are coming over. So we're gonna see our landlords. And Amanda and I have our Battleground Games live stream at 7:30. We're going to do a Strixhaven post pre-release. We're going to play Magic the Gathering using our Strixhaven pre-release kits. Just because we thought that would be something fun to do. Doing this on the base will help to highlight some of the stuff that I've added to it. Like this base, you can't even see the sword that I glued down to the base, so we'll highlight that in a moment. Hearing a beeping from the basement, which indicates to me that the dryer is just done. It's a very wet day out, so I kind of want to get the stuff out of the dryer before it cools too much. I might take a short break to do that in a moment. I guess I'll finish the brown on these two other bases, and then I'll run downstairs and take stuff out of the dryer. This doesn't have to be pretty, it just has to be mostly covered. I might, if it has time to dry, even have time to do wash today. I don't know. We'll see. See how much this dries and the time it takes me to paint the rest of the stuff on the base. So I have slept so much during this vacation. I must have really been sleep deprived going into this. I probably spent 6 to 8 hours a day napping. Part of it is that I've been recovering from my second COVID shot. And that definitely was a thing. But I can't use that excuse for the last couple of days. I guess I didn't take a nap yesterday. I just felt tired all day. But Tuesday. I was mostly recovered already from my shot. I just couldn't keep my eyes open. So sleep deprived. No time for a nap today, though. Frankly, I think I've bitten off too much today, because not only am I working on these minis, but I have some magic cards to sleeve up. I have to set up for the magic stream tonight. I have to deal with laundry. I have to cook dinner. Just got a lot going on today. Actually did go by my workplace yesterday. I went by the store because I needed to pick up the basing grit that I was going to be using for these models. It was gratifying to see that the store hadn't burnt down in my absence. Still there. Seems to be doing okay. Derek had been spending some time moving stuff around, so the store may be in better condition when I get back to it than it was when I left. I'm really destroying this brush. Look how much paint I've gotten into the bristles there. My watch is telling me now that laundry is done. Timer. There we go. Trying to paint the base, and not the bird. I've already painted the bird. I don't want to paint it again. I did that once today. Tempted to try and just shift the bird up a bit, like hold it away from the base, but I'm afraid I might snap its legs if I do that. Just I have maybe a centimeter of clearance here on the side. There we go. That's pretty good. Any areas that I didn't get just adds flavor. Okay. Cool. Alright, that's 2 bases done. I'm actually going to take a very short break to run downstairs and move laundry into the dryer and move the dry stuff into a hamper. So enjoy this music from Miracle of Sound, and I'll be back in just a couple of moments. Excuse me a moment. And I'm back. Hey folks. Sorry about that. While I was doing that, that was really pleasant. That was really nice because I got to thrust my arms deep into a freshly done laundry load, a freshly done dryer. It was warm and pleasant. Okay, so I took advantage of the fact that I was gone for a second there to grab what I needed to fix this. So let's fix this quickly. That is a little yellow-green on the back there. Clara's trying to convince Amanda that it's time for dinner. I mean, to be fair, Amanda did just come in the front door, which usually means dinner. Okay, so this is... What did I even do here? Looks like I put some basing grit in here as well. It's fine. Everything's fine. Just quickly fix this. It's not the worst disaster in the history of painting. Clara thinks it's the worst disaster in the history of painting. Left a teeny bit on this frill too. Let's fix that. Just a touch of pale blue. Goodness, that cat. I don't have many robes, do I? No. I'll just use deck 10. It's going to be covered up with a wash anyways. There, I fixed it. You can hardly tell. If you don't say anything, chat, I'll never admit that this is a blemish as a result of hitting it with the brush while I was doing the base. That spine there also needs a touch-up. Okay. Cool, cool. Problem solved. There we go. All fixed. Hardly tell that I did it. Excellent. I'll hit that with a wash in a little bit. Let's move on to the next bird. I'm going to be using this brush some more in a little bit, because we're going to use it to paint up some of the other things that I glued to the bases. But right now, let's do the rest of that flat earth. This bird's going to be a little easier because his wings are in a higher pose, so I can get to the terrain a little bit easier. Of course, I say that, and then I'm going to make some sort of horrifying mistake. Dreadful blemish. Welcome home, Amanda. Did you get to hug your mother? Or did you get to pet a cat? Either of these are things that I think you would be excited about being able to do, now that you're mostly completely vaccinated. We have not, Amanda and I, had an opportunity to meet her mother's cat yet, really. We've seen him through a door. You got to pet a cat! Oh my goodness, you pet his tummy tum-tum? Amanda, this vaccine is already a miracle. You're so lucky. I mean, if Marco was willing to let you in, then obviously your mom had to let you in. These things are so close to done now. feel so good about all the stuff that I was able to get onto the bases. Just it looks so cool. Little tricky here. I'm going to get paint on the base and not on the model. Slightly awkward angle. Right under the belly here. Almost done though. Well, almost done with the brown at least. Might come back in here and do some of this again right at the contact point with this shield. Alright, so this is no longer just matte black. Uh-oh, I painted his knee. Didn't mean to do that. Luckily, it's easy to fix that. Okay. Cool. All right. That's the monotonous part done. Now let's do the fun part. Which one should I do first, folks? Should I do the one with the shield, the one with the spear, or the one with the sword? I wish I knew how to quickly get a poll going in my chat. I know that my chatbot has the way to do polls, I just can't remember the syntax for it. And of course, I've only got 2 viewers that I know of right now. I'm gonna do the spear, because it's the driest of the 3. It's the one I started on today, or this afternoon. Alright, so we've got a skull, we've got the spear, and we've got this little crenellation that the Raptoryx is standing on. That's the only piece that was actually sculpted into the base. Everything else is stuff that I've added to this base. So let's do the little crenellation first. For that we're using Deck Tan, which is the color I've done all of the stonework in. I could just leave it gray, but might as well make it match the rest of the stonework I've done. this little piece of stonework also has a little spire sticking up out of it. So let's do that little spire there in a metallic. So for that, I'm going to use gunmetal. Love this stuff. There we go. That bottle is gumming up a little bit. Getting hard to get stuff out of it. Just this little spire that's sticking up here. Lightning rod or something like that. Oh, this piece of stone before just fell off a ruin or something. While I'm in the gunmetal, let's do the blade of the spear in gunmetal as well. Cool. Yeah, Pi, we can't wait until you can visit. It's not that far off. We're all getting closer now. Alright, for the haft of the spear here, I'm going to do that in Let's add a little extra layer on that skull. And then we'll set this aside to dry for a moment and work on another fella. Wash will also help with these brush strokes that are in the skull. Cool. How late am I going to go? What time is it now? I'm going to stop soonish. Like, I'm not going to do a wash on these right now. I've got to do that skull there, this little rock, that, this, and this sword over here and these two skulls. So maybe another 15-20 minutes, and then I can start dinner. Just noticed a bit of... oh, there we are. Wood that needs some more brown. Alright. Very quickly. I'm going to do this shield. I'm just going to do it all metallic. It's a very cool sculpt. It's all pitted and decayed. So it's going to be fun to do a wash on. And get some highlights. But that's tomorrow's job. I'm not going to bother with the back side of this skull, or this shield. Just leave it black. Okay. There's a blade coming up out of the muck here, so we'll also do that in the metallic. Yeah. There's this stone this guy is standing on. Again, looks like a piece of rubble. There we go. And then there's a skull that I added to the terrain. So we'll hit that with the skeleton bone. Obviously the most time-consuming part of this was painting all the ground, which I had based in, or primed in black. There we go. Lovely. Let's do that skull. come back and do another coat on that skull in a moment. In the meantime, nope, that one's done. This guy here is also standing on a pair of skulls, so let's quickly hit those. Almost done. Again, we'll give those a second coat in a moment. Any brown left? No. I need just a touch of flat earth. Not much at all. Cool. Oh, I've got the skeleton arm here, because I just left that arm attached to the sword. So let's color that in. I'll do the hilt of the sword in that dark brown, and the rest of the sword in metallic. We'll do a quick second coat on those skulls. And then I can say we're done with the basing for today. I'll be doing a wash on this tomorrow as part of Finishing Friday. And that'll help some of this stuff look better. Less bright, more interesting. So pleased I found this sprue full of skeleton bits, because this is perfect for the battlefield. There we go. All right. I think pretty much done with this quick bonus stream. Just wanted to take some of this stuff that was matte black, uninteresting, and bring it to life. It needs a wash, which we'll do tomorrow. And that will make all of this. I need it darker because I don't want it to detract too much from the model itself, the Raptoryx. So tomorrow we're going to be lightening the Raptoryx up. We're going to be darkening the terrain down a bit. But that's part of Finishing Friday. And that was a fun little quick bonus stream. I'm pleased that you were able to join me, Pi. And we made some, oops, it's not the right color. Made some quick progress. Quite happy with how this is coming together. This guy is quick second coat, and I think I'm done. So, yay, bonus stream. Oh, and perfect timing, I just heard the laundry. So I'm gonna go get that out of the dryer, and I'm gonna make some dinner. Hey, let's check them out finally. So now here's how things are looking. There's that one. Looks great. Oh man. This base is everything I could have imagined. This one here. Tells a story. And this one with the shield sticking up out of the ground. Cool. Well, thank you for joining me for a quick bonus stream, folks. That was fun, and I will be back with a full stream tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. when we do Finishing Friday and do touch-ups on these folks and finish them up. Amanda and I will be playing some Magic the Gathering at 7:30 tonight, 7:30 Eastern on twitch.tv/battlegroundgameslive. So we'll see you over there for that. And then, of course, Amanda at 10 p.m. Eastern is going to be continuing to read from Will of the Empress by Tamara Pierce, which is an awesome book that we're really enjoying. So, yeah, thank you so much, everybody. I had fun.